Welcome to our campaign, set in the galvanizing world of Electrival. Join us for an adventure full of noir intrigue and electrifying spectacle. See the description below for ways that you can stay informed on the latest episode of this series, as well as any other content featured on Dice Carnival. Today's episode is brought to you by C4 Labs, makers of amazing board game and RPG accessories, including dice towers, dice trays, and trading card deck boxes. Great as gifts, or just for yourself, and with free shipping in the US. I've been using their walnut dice coasters at my table for a year, and I can tell you they are unmatched. You can find their laser-crafted products at c4labs.com. Once again, that is c4labs.com. Link is in the description. Be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts, and leave a good rating if you enjoy the episode. Without further ado, let's begin!
Hello! Welcome to Electrival. I will be your host for this new campaign set in a fascinating world of electric intrigue and dark mystery, with plenty of adventure to be found in every alley. Today I am joined with Misha, Ben, Greg, and Ariel, as they will be playing in this campaign. As we begin, is everyone feeling good?
Yeah. I'm vibing.
I'm a little tense.
In that case, I think that we should alleviate the tension by jumping right into it.
Wonderful.
We begin in a far-off, fantastic world. We pan through thick, tempestuous clouds towards the fields of green wildgrass. Ancient cairns gather in moss, and vines like history that predate the oldest that this world knows. A warm sunset breeze blows a dandelion across the world. And as the grasses below grow tanner and more fraught, as the black earth turns to dried, cracked mud, we come to the horizon of massive ruins. Subtly varied rectangular monoliths, some 100 feet tall, lean in a similar direction like petrified trees after a volcanic eruption. What limited vision we can get of this once great civilization pans us to see a thick sandstorm billowing through the petrified rows of buildings. The gales of sand whisk up from the dead street, blowing us and our fellow dandelion seed upwards towards the dark gray clouds that crackle and roar. Rain pellets begin to fall as we dance deftly between them, before an ionizing bolt can be seen as if in slow motion crackling towards the dandelion seed like a metal umbrella, before rapidly hooking itself to the right as we see a large ship loom into frame. The ship is not one built for sea, but for the currents of air. A massive patchwork balloon granting it buoyancy on the air currents. And like spiked rivets, another bolt of lightning can be seen having danced across the raindrops and striking the ship, seeming to be bottled within a rusty, dusted glass mason jar. We see a figure pick up this jar, and with a toothless smile, this man looks at the crystal canister and laughs, a mad, gleeful laugh, before he stumbles and finds himself slipping across the edge, barely grabbing a hold of a dangling rope, as the jar of lightning plummets below. He looks up, grateful that he's still hanging on, but a smaller form looms above him, dressed like that of a captain. A female halfling brandishes a long cutlass and looks down disappointed at him. We pan below as we hear a momentary scream and see a body fly past the camera, attached to a frayed piece of rope. But what does not seem to fall is the jar of lightning. Bolts of lightning seem to be jumping and cracking at it as if trying to break it open. And eventually, one bolt of lightning larger than the rest strikes it, sending it spiraling away from this net of lightning. Lower and lower and lower from the storm that retreats above. Before bloop, it lands in a pool of water. A bog. Dark, peaceful, only the faintest signs of sunset casting it in orange light. A few dragonflies drift away, settling for the night as the canister sinks slower until it is out of sight and a few bubbles emerge from the swampy water. But returning to us is a dandelion seed, the same one that had survived the journey before, that lands on a nearby mud bank where it comes to rest. That is until a gust of wind turns our camera slightly to the left, away from one sunset and towards the light of another. Piercing into this dark bog is a large city, radiating golden light, like that of a million tiny suns. As we float towards, the wind picks up the dandelion that begins to float through the air, around and round and round, as it zooms in towards the metropolis on the swamp. City of Electrival. Boardwalks, stretching out from the swamp, converge at a massive tiered city that only vaguely resembles that of a cake. And we see music, laughter, drinking in streets. We see people from all walks of life, from all income classes, of all genders, races, orientations, celebrating. Even the occasional macabre skeleton, painted with festive colors and bejeweled diamonds and rhinestones, walk between them, performing menial tasks at the whims of their master. And as the dandelion approaches but a single building in one of the brightest wards of this city, lands in a gutter, and we can see a neon sign lighting up behind it that reads, "The Crocodile's Ball Gown." Above a narrowed street littered with foot traffic, at the edge of the Starlight District, overlooking the spirit ward of the lower city, sits an old building lit by incandescent light bulbs that cast the cobblestone streets in a golden radiance. Among the bustle of the crowds is one man who stands a fair size taller than the rest. Looking upon him, in most worlds, his pale skin and darkened eye sockets would suggest that he had risen from the grave. But as the crowd momentarily parts for a carriage pulled by skeletal horses driven by a calavera dressed in a top hat and high-collar jacket, it becomes clear that both the living and the dead still have a role to play. As pedestrians filter back into place beyond the wagon, the cart that clacks across the stones, the figure looks up at the sign, neon sign that seems to also illustrate a not too cartoonish crocodile wearing a pink dress and a tiara. The creature snakes around the letters, and below a marquee, like that of a theater, read signs above that say, "Hugo Brassleaf, live in concert tonight only. But below that is another figure, standing 13 feet above the ground. And the ladder he's standing on, 10 feet tall at best. A halfling man seems to be arranging red letters that read, "Sold out." A couple of people bump near the ladder as it kind of precariously wobbles, causing him to almost drop one of the letters. You hear him say,
"Hey, you hooligans better stop bumping into me. Otherwise, I'm going to come down there and you won't like me when I come down there."
"Yenjin, this is you." Standing there with a ticket in hand. Obviously a commodity, considering the marquee above. But you were also expecting to see someone else, were you not?
Where am I supposed to go? I've got a ticket.
You look below the marquee, and there is a sort of flight of stone stairs that seem to descend, and a line kind of picking up outside. You see several figures beginning to scatter from that line, looking disappointed, talking about how, they could squeeze a few more in there. There's room. They've been wanting to see the show forever.
I guess I'll head over that way and see what's up.
As you make your way over, you feel a hand kind of tap you on the shoulder, and you turn around to see a bugbear with a wide cap and carrying a lantern staff behind you. Soup, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi. I think Jack told me to find you.
Oh, you know Jack?
Yeah, I know him from work.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I'm trying to get in. There's something about sold out, but...
Well, I mean, we have tickets, so that shouldn't be a problem for us.
Okay.
I mean, you have both the tickets. Jack told me he gave them to you.
Oh, yes, of course. I think I was expecting...
You conveniently fold open the ticket and find that is indeed 2 stubs.
Ah, right. I guess I was expecting Jack to come.
Yeah, nah, it's fine. You can call me Soup, by the way.
Okay. I'm Gyendon.
Yenden.
You hear a voice.
I can remember that.
You hear a voice beside you say,
Mind doing a fellow a favor and passing me that L that just fell down?
You see the tiny halfling looking down at the long-armed bugbear.
Oh yeah, totally. I go to pick it up and I kind of reach up to hand it back to him.
He takes it. He leans over and he takes it and begins affixing it and says,
"Thank you kindly. You going to go see the show tonight?"
Yeah. I've never really been to many concerts, so it's gonna be a new experience. Looks like this one's popular too.
Certainly. Name's Lazar. I'm kind of in charge of maintenance around here.
Could
Go
you
speak
please
to
know I'm
Randolph.
not so great with names.
Lazar. Richten.
Lazar. Okay, I'll do my best to remember that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in charge of, keeping the place from falling apart. And you might hear me telling everyone in there to be quiet when the show starts, but you'll see me around.
Well, you definitely have quite the voice for a big speaker.
I appreciate that. I got the bass from my mother.
With that, would you like to make your way inside?
Yenden, want to come with?
Yeah, sure.
All right. You make your way down the steps, and the line that had accumulated begins to thin out, as it is obvious that you hear a voice inside saying, "I am terribly sorry, but we really don't have any more space. Please, if you have a ticket already, if you purchased in advance, you can most certainly wait in line. We will approve it. But please, we do not have any more tickets for sale. We don't have any more box ticket seats, no backstage passes. We are sold out on the ticket counter. And a crowd of about 5 more leaves this interior space, leaving a half-orc who is standing inside, kind of wearing a sort of carnival-style hat and kind of bright red, gold, and blue, sort of almost like a ringkeeper's or ringleader's outfit, but not quite as fastidious. Very much looking a little overwhelmed with the size of the crowd that he's having to filter. And he stands inside of a ticket booth inside of this interior space. You can see on all the walls, you can see a few gilded frames that show posters of previous artists that have performed at the Crocodile's Ball Gown, some as old as 50, 60 years ago. You see as well several other posters that have just kind of been tacked to the wall, that many of them seem ripped and torn and peeled and just layered over each other. You're not even sure that this room even has wallpaper. It's just more and more previous artists that have toured here over the decades.
It's nice when a place looks like it's got history. Think we do we like hand in our tickets there? Or do we show them there? Sorry, I've never really been.
Well, hello. Hi. You next. Do you have a ticket?
Yes.
Yes. We don't have any more tickets if you're looking to buy.
No. We have tickets.
He looks genuinely relieved and says, Certainly. Let me just get them processed here. And he gestures at the two of you to kind of approach the booth.
All right.
Yeah, we approach.
Yeah, and you hand the tickets over. He'll start going it over and say, "Sorry about that. My name's Randolph. I'll be your proprietor for the evening. Sorry, we don't usually get this much of a crowd. Theater's been a little bit of a down. I'm surprised that we were even able to book Hugo tonight."
Big act?
Kind of, yeah. Well, we've had some big acts in the past, but that was kind of more during my father's time.
So it must be a big thing to get him here tonight. Oh, we got special tickets, Gendon.
Ooh, really?
That's so nice. Seems like it. Seems like he's a special
your tickets will grant you access to the main floor, the dance floor, as well as the above balcony. If you wish to purchase
Fancy.
drinks and accommodations like that, we do have a someone who comes in to serve drinks. You'll have to deal with her directly, though.
All right.
But yes, everything seems to be in order. Enjoy your show. And he kind of gestures to your right, his left, stage right.
Sir.
And you can hear the sounds and trills of between these sort of open doors of this concert venue, as you see a sort of brawny, human but very like heavy built female human, who's just kind of wearing a pair of shades and sleeveless shirt, as she just kind of gives you a nod. Not giving you any trouble as long as you don't give her trouble, as you are not bounced.
All right.
Do you know anything about Hugo beyond the fact that he's popular, like his kind of music or something?
Not really. I mean,
Not
Jack
really?
just told me he was a big hit of the town right now, and I should come see it and get some of the culture of the city.
Yeah, no, he told me something similar. Well, I mean, if he intends it to be for cultural educational purposes, I'm sure we're not taking the place of like some hardcore fans or something.
No, I don't think so.
All right, yeah, we totally deserve to be here. We're totally in the right place right now.
Just calm down. I think we'll make it through.
Meanwhile, as we pan away from there, we cut to a man who absolutely feels like he is in the complete wrong place right now. Behind the scenes is two figures, and actually two silhouettes behind them. One is a tall, very jewelry-studded Earth Ganassi who seems to be dressing their finest and carrying a sort of clipboard and a piece of charcoal and seems to be writing stuff down. Another one, pacing back and forth, is a halfling man with hair that is still in its bloom, but with only the faintest bits of grays beginning to poke through, perhaps that of stress. And he seems to be pacing back and forth behind the curtain, Hugo Brassleaf.
I can't do it. Can't do it, Jaren. Getting too old for this job.
Hugo.
What?
How many times do I have to tell you? If we had a choice in this matter, I would be booking you all the way up in the upper part of the city. We'd be going to Stormhold or the Isles, someplace like that. But you're not doing anything new. You're doing the same stuff. If you want to play for the people who like the same stuff, you're looking at them. Out there, and he kind of peeks beyond the curtain, and you can see out there are a bunch of individuals dressed dapper, if you will. But many of their clothes have holes in them, their hats, patches. Definitely not the most well-paid of citizens of the city.
This kind of music is what made me. You think I'd give up on it now?
I don't, and when you first pitched to me to bring you on as your manager, I appreciated your passion. It was good for a while, but I worry that it just might be over now. We had to let go of Loris and Karma. Speaking of which, I can't figure out how to get these things to work. And he gestures towards the two automatons that you've had to replace your security guards with due to being unable to pay them.
Well, what do you expect me to do? Know how to fix them? I play music.
You're the one who haggled for them. Read the manual.
That's true.
I can't seem to get this thing online.
I'll give it a try, but don't know. I don't know if I can do that with the performance coming up. I need to practice.
He just shoves a screwdriver and a piece of paper into your hand. I will take care of the stage. Just focus yourself. I don't know if you noticed this, but not all of the crowd is, as you would say, destitute. And he kind of adjusts the curtain, peering out of it a bit. Above, you can see a box office. A sort of box seat, I should say. That seems to overarch it. You can see inside is a sort of crystal chandelier beyond the windows that they most comfortably stand behind. A table of bright decorated food, decanters of drinks and wine seem to be passed among as you see the elite who had booked special accommodations to see the show mingle and dine. I don't know if you know this, but Portsmouth Gilded is rumored to be in attendance tonight.
Portsmouth Gilded?
The Portsmouth Gilded.
You've got to be kidding me.
He's not exactly a merchant prince, but many say that he's en route to get there.
You weren't lying. Then I really got to make this show tonight.
This may be our last chance. We can't let anything go wrong.
Nothing will go wrong.
Nothing will go wrong. And he'll basically go off to start consulting with a shorter, kind of very deep-voiced halfling who has kind of approached from the back, or the sort of side door, or the staff, like the artist and staff entrance door, and the two of them kind of begin discussing, like...
I looked over your pyrotechnics recommendation. I don't think we can safely put that many in here. It's like...
and the other guy's like, but Hugo's not gonna be too happy. Just the smaller ones, okay?
I'll see what I can do about getting them set up, but this place is under reconstruction right now. We got a lot of insulation revealed.
And Hugo, you're kind of left to yourself and to kind of fix these automatons.
Oh yeah. How
You approach him.
Yep, I'll do it.
So you kind of like look at the instructions and you begin looking at all the different plates that are on the sort of constructs, these items that you had haggled with at basically a junk shop. You're not even sure really how the dude who sold them to you got them turned on, but since you turned them off, you've been having some trouble. Probably spending a good 2 minutes and reading the sort of instruction manual that came with them. You begin to kind of focus and kind of flip some diodes, and you pull out like a rusty bit and kind of rub off some corrosion, and you pop it back in there, close the plate, stand back, and there's a from the other one as well, as the two of them face you.
Yes, finally. Can't believe that worked. Miss those two. I'll go.
What are orders?
Guard me for now.
The two of them just, one of them kind of, you see a little spark fly out from beneath its ear, the other one's light bulb kind of blinks, and the two of them just kind of stand around you on either side, just kind of cradling you.
Okay. I guess I'll consider that a win.
You try to move, and the two of them just shuffle with you.
Perfect.
All right. As we prepare for the show, we've got two party members who are mingling into the crowd. Another who is getting ready for the most important show of his life. And we pan outside the building as we see some crates and delivery equipment by a few individuals wearing striped hats and overalls begin passing. We see another figure, Sky.
Do you know where I might find some of the more sophisticated clientele? They've requested a repair.
You say this towards the sort of contracting supervisor who's making the deliveries and says, "Listen, kid. I'm the most fancy person you're going to be speaking to tonight. We got a simple job, get in there, drop off these pyrotechnics, and get out.
Are you sure?
You're a new hire, I don't recognize your face."
Right. Well, I was hired by your supervisor, and they won't be very happy as the lighting seems to have gone out in the box seats. So I really should be getting up there. Could you direct me where they are?
Roll me a deception check.
Yes. All right, that's 16.
The dude is kind of like standing there a little bit puzzled, but kind of thinks about what you're saying and says, all right. Just don't linger in there too long. I mean, if you're going to be stealing from the bar, pick something up for me, too. Head in there, speak to that short guy I spoke to earlier.
Sure thing.
And this dude, who is most definitely not your boss, lets you through. You make your way inside of the space. And you come to a sort of backstage area. You see two figures, one a sort of shorter halfling having a sort of in-depth conversation with a taller Earth Genasi man. Both of them appear to be very stressed about what's going on, and you kind of wait for a moment as they peer out of the curtain towards the sort of box seats above, and you kind of catch a glimpse, and they say, you hear the one say, "I don't know if you know this, but Portsmouth Gilded will be in attendance tonight. The Portsmouth Gilded." And you kind of pick that up a little bit as confirmation that you are in the right place. What do you do?
I ask the manager if he could tell me how to get up to the box seats, as I need to make an urgent repair requested by Portsmouth Gilded himself.
Portsmouth Gilded. Listen, you're a funny kid. No way I'm gonna believe that. Anyway, now if you're gonna talk to anyone, speak to some of the management. That short halfling fella, maybe.
Thank you.
He doesn't say you're welcome. Alright. And yeah, so you are just going to kind of make your way out of that staff entrance into the space, and yeah, so you kind of like make your way beyond Hugo and his manager as you kind of emerge from a door and you look on the other side, staff entrance. Actually, as you're making your way down that hallway, you have a moment where no one has eyes on you. Would you like to do anything?
I think I'd just like to hurry along to the box seats as quickly as possible.
Right. All right. So you're still wearing. The sort of delivery person outfit.
Yes.
All right. So you make your way out of that, and you look behind, and you see it says artist and staff only. And you close that door behind you, and you come into a sort of crowded hallway as you see two forms kind of filter through. You see a sort of taller bugbear form and a taller human kind of crouch as they make their way, kind of cutting across the hall in front of you. Beyond them, you can see what looks like a flight of stairs that begins to head up to the higher balcony.
Alright. I mean, I'll walk up the stairs.
All right. As you kind of cut your way past, you almost kind of bump into the bugbear individual as they're trying to like lower their staff through, and Soup, you see someone dressed in an official looking outfit bump into you momentarily.
Oh, so sorry. Oh dear. The size, not used to it. Yeah, pass through. It's your way. Go ahead.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Of course.
Of course, you kind of just wave at the woman as she walks past, and Gienjin seems to kind of be filtering into the space. Cutting back to the two of you, what do you do as you make your way into this ballroom floor? You see a stage on one end, and sort of two entrances that people can enter from. A balcony above seems to lead even further up, as you can see what looks like a sort of box seat above it, and kind of a catwalk about 50 feet up in the 60-foot high ceiling.
You wanna have more of a top view or bottom view? I don't want to be on the dance floor, to be honest. You wanna go up top?
I have no idea what I should be doing for these concerts. Sure, let's go to the top.
Yeah, let's go to the top. I can't dance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can't really either. Who was that you bumped into?
Seemed like someone who worked here. I don't know. I don't. It's.
Oh, all right.
I'm only bumping into people because I just, I just don't want to cause disturbances. Not. I'm talking too much. I am so sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah, let's head
All right.
upstairs.
Okay.
All right, so you kind of linger in that space and take in the sort of awe in the view before a minute later turning back and deciding to reserve a space on the balcony. Meanwhile, on the balcony before you, we come to Sky once more. So far, no one seems to have recognized you or given you too much of a hassle, though you have just kind of emerged at the top of the staircase, and you can see many individuals dressed in their finest clothing, whatever that might be, seem to be filtering through and chatting. At one end, you can see an elven woman behind a sort of like tiki bar, sort of set up, seems to be accepting coin and mixing drinks for people who order them. On the other end, you see what looks like a sort of room, like a wall, like a drywall, basically built into the corner of the wall. That seems to have another bouncer standing just inside the door frame. And of course, there is a balcony that has about, probably at this point, maybe about 20, 25 individuals of various ethnicities, mixed a little bit in class, but none of them incredibly ostentatious, except for one who you see speak to the bouncer individual, and seems to kind of flash a pass at them, who they inspect, and then kind of nods and hands the pass back and allows them to walk through. And you are standing on this balcony.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Alright. I'll mingle among the crowd a bit, trying to get a little closer to that individual, just to see
Right.
who they are.
That particular individual kind of broke off. They seem to have been a fire ganassi. It's kind of hair that crackled like embers and kind of shaven on one side, wearing a sort of flying tuxedo. They have disappeared out of sight. Like they've gone up to the next flight of stairs that leads further up to the VIP lounge, if you will. But it seems like they needed a pass to get up there.
Okay. In that case, I will follow that person, assuming that I might find Gilded in that VIP box.
All right, so where are you following right now, or you're
Well,
walking up to the door?
Yeah, I mean, he went like up the stairs, right, past a guard or
Mhm.
something, who I assume I would need to talk to now.
Yep. You want to go ahead and approach. This particular individual is a female half-orc. But you can also see inside is a human male who seems to kind of just be sitting bored on a stool within the space. And yeah, it's just kind of like a small area, maybe no more than 15 feet on any side. But there is a flight of stairs behind them that seems to be covered in a sort of velvet carpet material.
Okay.
That seems like it was recently stapled down.
All right then. Can I ask the guard if I can go up, investigating some lighting issues?
Looks up and says, "I'm sorry, orders are quite clear. I can't let anyone through. And not unless I hear from the manager himself."
All right. Well, I would like to inform this individual that Mr. Gilded himself is not going to think too highly of this establishment if basic repairs can't even be made, and that the manager is a very busy man with better things to do. And I would also like to ask him if he would really like this to fall on him if I can't make the repair.
The human man in the back kind of like raises it. You kind of catch out of the corner of your eye, kind of raises an eyebrow for a second. Looks at you and just kind of bats an eye. You see the half-orc woman just say, "Listen, I don't get paid enough to know what you're talking about. Orders are orders. You don't got a VIP pass, and if a Randolph or Lazar isn't letting you through, my orders aren't to let anyone else."
Okay. In that case, I'll just lurk around the area and wait for an opportunity, I guess.
All right. Just roll me a general investigation check.
That's a 20 plus 6, so 26.
So you can see kind of two immediate routes that could potentially lend you access from where you've accessed already. You see that one is the staircase in front of you, but they seem to only be allowing basically VIPs up into that section. The other possibility, and you look up at this, you see there's a catwalk about 30 feet above you, no, about 20 feet above you, that seems to ride all the way up until maybe the top of the box office, but is kind of slightly out of frame, unless someone pressed up against the window were to look up. You see it connects towards a set of ladders and platforms that seem to lead backstage.
I'm sorry, backstage or to the box?
There's a catwalk that connects from above where the stage area is
Okay,
to where the box seats are.
I see. In that case, I'd like to make my way down and have a go at climbing over it into the box seat then.
All right. As you begin making your way out, you see another individual make their way through. You see that this time it is a half-elven woman dressed in bright pinks that seems to kind of be looking through, kind of disgusted at all of the surroundings around her. Seems to sticking out of her back pocket is a red piece of paper. It looks familiar to what the other person had passed before. And she's just looking around and says, "Excuse me, do you work here?"
Yes.
You look
I
like
do.
you look like one of the worker class. I can't seem to navigate anywhere. I'm bumping into all these less fortunates, and one of them stepped on my dress. Do you know where I'm supposed to gain access to the box suites? I can't seem to navigate this decrepit place.
Could I see your ticket, please? Then I could help direct you.
Yeah, I don't think the check would be needed for this. She kind of pulls it out and says, I've got this, and she just kind of holds it. This is supposed to gain me access above, but so far I followed it. I followed the previous instruction. I ended up in the loo.
Right, let me look a bit closer. I need to see exactly what level of the building your seat is on, and my eyesight's not too good.
So you look at the invitation, and she kind of hands it to you and says, "If you think it will help." You look, and it says, it's like red paper that seems to be inscripted with gilded kind of gold embellishment. And it says, Hugo Brassleaf, live in concert, VIP pass, courtesy of Mr. Gilded.
Interesting. I think I know just where to take you. Let's talk to my associate over here, and I'd like to lead her back.
Just roll me a deception check real quick. Because this kind of goes from the point where she was kind of seeking help, and then this is where you're kind of offering services.
That's 14.
Yeah, she is not the type of person to doubt you at all. And she says, certainly, at least someone in here is competent enough to navigate this place. And yeah, she'll just kind of trail you. Where do you take her?
I'd like to, I'm still holding the golden ticket type thing, right?
Yeah, you haven't passed it back to her.
So while holding that very visibly, I would like to lead her back towards the guard at the bottom of the staircase and attempt to get through once again in order to personally escort this fine lady to her seat.
All right, you approach the seat and you hear you would approach and the woman would say, "Hello. You looking to change the light bulb again? Marcus, you take this one up. I'm gonna go visit the little girl's room." And she'll just kind of break off, and the human man will kind of get up a little bit. And she'll just kind of wrap around, and she says, "Don't let this one give you any trouble." She'll make her way out, and the woman just looks and says, "I can't believe how they treat you."
I know, right? It's awful.
You see the man kind of crack his back as he stands up. He has kind of wispy white hair. And he looks at you and says, younger though. He looks at you and says, "All right. Ma'am, pass." And she kind of looks and says, "Oh, yes. And she goes to reach for the pass you're holding.
I hold it forward, keeping it in my hand, but giving him full view of it.
The woman just kind of like goes to reach it, and you kind of move it out of the way, and she's like, fine. And he inspects it, and he has to inspect it and hold it. As he's looking at it, he looks back and forth. All right, everything seems to be in order. He goes to hand it back to the woman.
I take it back.
Roll me an initiative check real quick.
Okay.
I'm bad already.
I'm so sorry.
Just to see who's faster on the draw.
Okay, that's a 13.
She rolled a 6. You snatch it out of the hand again, and he says, "I'm sorry. I'm sure. It's the fine lady is the only one who's granted entrance."
All right. I would like to try to convince this man that he would not be looked upon favorably if this lady's experience were to be anything but stellar, which it will be if the lights are out upstairs.
I guess kind of saying that, she kind of like raises her eyebrows, looks at him and says, "Why, yes, you're not trying to rob me of an optimal experience, are you?" She kind of glares at him. Roll me a deception check with advantage. As she is technically helping you now, from how you worded.
5, and that's a 16. So 19.
19. Fair enough. Just, I expect to see you down here soon. He kind of eyes suspiciously at Sky in a way that kind of sets off your spidey sense a little bit. And you see the woman just kind of looks exhausted and tired of all the little inconveniences to her big night out. And she'll just kind of shoulder past him and begin making her way up, kind of lifting her dress up. And she's got like these 4-inch stiletto heels that she kind of begins making her way up the velvet staircase on. In short little dainty steps. And yeah, you are allowed in your maintenance outfit. Your other outfit still tucked underneath. Begin making your way up towards the chatter and din of other people. Moving on to Hugo.
Yay. Me.
You see, remind me of the name of your manager again?
Jaren.
Jaren, right. Jaren looks at you and says, I'm glad to see that you figured out how to get the machines to work.
Well,
You're on in a minute.
Well, honestly, I think it was sheer dumb luck other than anything else. Maybe things will start to look up around here.
Indeed. Mr. Blaze isn't, who you speak to. Why haven't you just gone to him for an advancement? Why haven't you called him?
I mean...
He'd be able to sort this out. He helped you the first time in your rise to glory.
Don't let this worry you, alright? But I haven't been able to contact him in a couple of weeks now, almost months.
You haven't been able to... Well, I mean, what is this man, an alien? You should be able to... No matter. We focus on tonight. We deal with this, we get another gig. We don't ever have to worry about Mr. Blaze not returning your calls anytime soon.
Of course. We can do this, Jaren.
Relax, Hugo. I can't have you tense out there. It looks bad on my portfolio.
Oh, yes, I was saying that for myself.
He's already, kind of nodded, and he just kind of begins making his way out, and he looks over at the halfling who makes his way around and says,
All right, boss. Everything's in order. Just, give me the go-ahead when your boy's ready.
Yes, certainly. and Hugo, you just maybe like hear this a little bit as you're kind of like practicing and you're kind of buttoning your trumpet in your hand, just kind of practicing the motions of some of your songs. And you just kind of hear him say, "Yes. I'm worried though that this may be the last time that I get to work with him."
I'll look over and sound a little, and then I'll crack my knuckles and say, "Let's shine."
All right. Breaking out to where Soup and Yenden are. The two of you have made your way onto the balcony. Would you have wanted to order any drinks?
I'm gonna go up to the bar, and once I can get the bartender's attention, I'm gonna give...
You see the woman seems to be a half-elven woman with kind of whitish hair that seems to have been dyed purple at the ends and has one like blue streak going through, and it's tied up into like two pigtails that kind of ride from the top of her head. And she has like a septum piercing and a nose piercing and just many piercings over like half her face, but none on the other side. And she looks at you with her lipstick that is pink on one side and blue on the other. Oh, hello. Hi, I'm Kira. Show's about to start. It's going to be kind of order. If you want to order drinks, now would be the best time to do that before I may not be able to hear you.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know exactly what goes into this, but something back at the college, a really popular drink. Do you know how to make a vicious mockery?
Yeah, certainly. You're speaking to the one who knows how to make vicious mockery. College of the Macabre. I recognize the pin.
Yeah. This is my
brother
first
worked
time
with
to
them.
a concert. One of the higher ups got me a ticket. It's real nice. I love your hair, by the way. It seems electric.
I love your, she kind of like looks over the sort of fungus. I love your accessories. It's quite a fascinating color palette.
Thanks. I grew them myself.
Certainly. And you, sir, she kind of gestures towards Gienden standing over 6 feet tall behind Soup.
What would you recommend me?
Oh, well, I don't know. Are you more of a new type of drink person, or are you perhaps a more classy sort of mixer? I do also have a couple of brews on tap. I could get you something like that.
What do you keep going about the new drinker?
Have you ever tried a Cosmic Chaos?
I can't say that I have.
I think that you'd like it. I take it your constitution is good?
Yes. How much is it?
For that, you're paying separately?
Yes. I think so.
I thought Jack
in that
was fronting
case-
this. No? I forgot
Oh.
about
I don't know. He didn't say anything about sponsors.
No?
I think you two do have like a little coin purse on you if you want to pull from that, but Jack just bought you the ticket, or Jack basically donated you the tickets because he wasn't going to use them himself.
Oh, wait. No. I got some extra cash on me. I just in case I got them in the secret pocket. No, it's good to be prepared.
They're a little expensive. You can put them down for one charge, basically a silver piece each.
Yep.
All right.
And yeah, she'll mix you two cocktails right up. You see one of them that she serves Soup is a kind of yellow, orange, and red sort of tiered pattern that has like a little straw mixed into it and tiny little circular ice cubes that rattle around as she kind of mixes it in the glass. That has a kind of a citrusy taste to it. For Gienden, she kind of mixes together like a sort of martini glass that is much taller, so it has like a very angular cone. And inside is this sort of purple liquid that she mixes this sort of edible glitter into. And it has this sort of galaxy nebula look to it as she slides it forward to you. And has a tiny little straw as well.
That looks really nice. Thank you.
Of course, you know where to find me. You may have to speak a little close during the show, but I'll be here.
All right.
I'll leave a tip.
And awesome. How much do you tip?
Remind me, what's the equivalent of a copper?
Coppers are called, it's called was it bolts, charges, and bolts, charges. I'm forgetting my own world. Zaps, was it zaps, charges, and bolts? I think.
Yeah, I'll leave 2 zaps as tip. One for each drink.
Awesome. Yeah, you go ahead and you leave that, and she appreciates it, and she'll pick them up and drop them into a little tin she keeps behind the counter, and she'll nod to you as she goes to frantically serve the next person. As you hear a bassy voice echo through the crocodile's ball gown.
Ladies and gentlemen, men, women, and those in between and beyond, orcs, halflings, denizens of the swamp, denizens of the sky, we welcome you here tonight to Electrival to see Hugo Grassleaf live in concert. If you have any sort of Aether Tech communication devices, please be sure to silence them now. Thank you.
And with that, you see the electric bulbs at the top of the room begin to dim and dim and dim until they don't go black, but just become so dim that you can actually see the tungsten coils inside of them glowing this faint orange through the sort of dirty lens of these old light bulbs. The entire space begins to kind of murmur and chat, and then it begins to die down, and it gets a little louder, and you hear someone just shout, "Shut up!" And it gets quiet again.
That was not what I was expecting. I love it.
And then you see some light bulbs built into the stage begin to light up a bit more. Mirrors that were affixed to them keep most of the light from shining out towards the crowd, but rather towards the bright red curtain. As the curtains begin to part. And standing there, stepping out, I imagine, is Hugo Brassleaf. Hugo, you stand there, looking out beyond the blazing spotlights, towards dark faces stretching out in front of you, more beyond, and a lit, though slightly dimmed box office. That you look to the right, there's a sort of segmented window that makes up the rightmost third from where you are. And you see a single chair and a figure standing there, leaning on his armrest. You can't really make up much detail of the figure from where you are and through the lights, but you can make out exactly one figure standing in a viewing area. Casts their gaze upon you as you step out onto what will be the most important performance of your life. What's going through Hugo's mind right now?
Anxiety. Mucho anxiety. But as a performer, he will put on a smile. And he will address the crowd as the lights go dim. And he will say, well, in all my adventures, nowhere close to here have I come, but it is an honor to perform in such a place that has had so many famous legends of music perform before. But I don't want to delay anymore. I'm quite excited to be at this performance. It's an honor to be playing for you all. And I say this kind of tilted towards that lone figure, saying it's an honor to play for you all. And without further ado, I'm gonna hold up my hand and use a little illusory flame coming out of it. Let there be light.
And with that, there's whistles and hoots and hollers as you speak out, and you can swear that you see the head tilt momentarily inside the box office seat, or the box seat. And as the cheers and hoots and hollers and clapping begin to die down, the lights fade only slightly, casting a moody glow around where you are. The curtain close behind you as a small halfling is pulling on the rope as hard as they can. Because apparently it is only Lazar who is doing all of the special effects.
Of course.
And you are now standing there, though. Just
Let
you.
the band begin to play the first song.
All right. And the little ensemble behind you, or the track basically that had been kind of retrofitted. Lazar in the back kind of like pops in a sort of cassette, basically, or the equivalent of one, and the accompaniment begins kind of billowing throughout the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
As yeah,
I will.
you are
I'll bring my horn up to my lips. I'll real quick give a test blowout to the side and shoot a little bit of fire, and then I'll
like a dragon billowing flame, and you're gonna begin playing.
Mm-hmm.
Hugo, with your confidence and how you presented yourself, you've pushed through whatever anxiety you have, and can make a performance check.
Hello. Oh goddamn! Can I do it with advantage?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
What did you roll?
I got a 10.
Is it just
10.
me, or is that guy a bit short to be a performer? Real flashy though. It's hard to see. I gotta squint. What do you think?
You begin playing. Sorry, Yenden, you have a moment? Continue with your bit.
I've got nothing really.
Not too opinionated. It's chill. It's chill. I know people like you.
Hugo, you begin playing one of your classic songs. And as you speak outwards, you hear the music and the trill and the bass line as you kind of begin to feel it. And as you allow 4 bars, 8 bars go in, you begin to kind of play in a very, maybe like a very Miles Davis-y style at first. One of your sort of classic sort of backing tracks. And as you kind of go, you do hear like some sounds and hollers, but you do start to hear a little bit of murmuring from the crowd. You're doing good. You're impressing people, but
It's not enough.
you're not doing your best. It's not your best performance. It's not as good as it's going to have to be.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to roll another performance check
Thank you.
as you try to switch up your strategy.
That's a
You
little
begin
bit
to improvise.
Oh,
Is this like between songs?
Nah,
Nope, this is the same song.
we got 14 this time, and I'd
This
like
is jazz. Songs are like 6 to 12 minutes long.
it's true.
Mm-hmm. And I'd like to use my prestidigitations to apply effects to whenever I do some important things as I go along.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, what did you roll?
I rolled 14.
14. It begins to pick up a little bit. And as you kind of break away from your old melody, you kind of use the similarities, some of the similarities of it to build upon. And when people start to think that, oh, this is one of your classic songs, you deviate from it. You begin to add extra notes. You begin to kind of branch off, switch down to a lower octave. And everyone is just looking at this small halfling playing this trumpet, except for one, Sky. Concert's begun. I don't know how much you feel about your taste in this music, but you have a job to do, nonetheless.
Music's not as much my thing, but I can appreciate the skill involved.
Yep. And as you make her way up, you see the woman just kind of darts off ahead of you, invitation in hand, but you are momentarily left unseen in this corridor space.
I'd like to look down the hallway and see if I can see if there's a restroom or any area that I could quickly hide in to change.
You want to continue going up? You haven't reached the top yet, but do you want to
Oh.
go all the way up to the top of the stairs, or do you want to just quickly Clark Kent it as your...
You know, I'll go all Clark Kent. That's what I'll do.
So you just kind of pop the overalls and you kind of take your dress that was kind of stuffed in there, and you, as you slide off the overalls, your red dress, spills down. Does Sky usually wear dresses, or is that not usually her thing?
Probably not, but maybe on this occasion.
You think of Dimitri momentarily as he had come back from shopping in a small conversation the two of you probably had. Trust me, this is the best style my money could buy.
Is it?
But yeah, you flip it off, you take off the sort of worker boots and slip on a pair of heels, and what do you do with the worker's outfit?
I'll wrap it up kind of like into itself, so it almost looks like a bag or something. So
You just kind of stuff it
dispose
in.
of it.
You just
Yeah.
kind of stuff it in, and surely enough, there's a waste disposal bin at the top of the chamber, like on the landing, we'll say. And as you make it way through, you just deftly toss in the ball of laundry into there as you kind of adjust yourself a little bit. Make sure the makeup that you put on, the eyebrows and stuff, that kind of magically seem to have melded into your skin and changed and filled them out. And yeah, here you are. You come into a balcony area, or into the VIP lounge. You see that this area houses both an open bar, as well as a spirits bar, as well as a spread of exquisite foods. About 12 guests litter the area. You see 3 of them that stand out. There's the Fire Ganassi man you saw before. You saw a sort of non-binary person who seems to have sort of darker skin and a sort of wide, heavier build. And you also see a shorter halfling woman who is like, you see that she kind of like punches one of the other fine guests in the knee as he kind of cripples to the ground, and she kind of gets closer to get a better look out the window and towards the concert, and he just kind of looks, and she gives her a glance, and he just walks away from her. You see that there is a door on the left side that seems to be locked. And as you are about to make your way into the room, something happens. Hugo, you're playing your song as you hear a shout behind you, behind the curtain. What do you say?
What does the shout say?
It's just like a what? Oh no. The lights in the chamber all begin to glow brighter and brighter until they become almost blinding. Soup, Giendon, those of you in the crowd begin to kind of squint as the lights above you begin to glow brighter, just as Hugo's heat was picking up. The energy of the song began to billow. And as that happens, the light glows brighter and brighter and brighter. Hugo, you say anything?
I keep playing. I, in fact, use silent image.
Is this supposed to happen?
I don't know. I mean, I heard concerts are flashy. I'm gonna turn around for a moment. It's much for me.
It's like looking into a
it's really
spotlight
bright.
almost at this point, and everyone kind of begins to murmur. But Hugo, you're kind of getting to the point where you're thinking maybe this isn't part of the special effects that were supposed to happen. And just as you're having that moment, it glows brighter momentarily as you hear the sound of glass breaking, and you see flashes of purple light as they ching, 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 as bursts of light and energy begin to billow out, and everyone kind of shouts as some glass shards rain from the ceiling, that rain from the stage, as about half the lights in this chamber explode. And you start seeing that within the interior, this purple, like lightning that you see, like the Arkstone's energy that powers Electrival, arcs out, but it's dark and kind of purplish in color. And as you see it kind of snakes around, your concert stopped at where you are. Like, do you stop playing, or do you continue to make the show go on? What would Hugo do?
I'm gonna continue to play.
You hear a voice.
I'm gonna start positioning myself I'm gonna start positioning myself in a place that I'm gonna subtly be like moving over to the exit in like the stage door just in case.
Yeah. You're starting to make
Um,
your way out, and as you are moving out, you see a hand behind you startle you as you ripping past the curtain is Jaren, who looks at you and says, "Hugo, I don't think they're supposed to do that." As he begins to scurry away, and you see the curtains burn with this purple lightning that begins to cause them to melt away. And behind them are two janky-looking automatons whose energy seems to be glowing, not with the sort of incandescent, sort of yellowish golden glow before, but a sort of purplish, electronic, darker glow. Must protect, as the two of them begin arcing this black lightning around them, and they begin to, one begins to charge towards Hugo and the other one towards the crowd, and I need everyone to roll initiative.
Shit.
the heck?
Oh,
I think that's supposed to happen.
I mean, have you ever been to another concert like this?
I don't know, but I'm just gonna stay back for a moment. Out of character, I rolled a 1.
Wow.
I've got a 10.
Got a 15. Boy, oh boy.
Let me roll initiative for these guys. Oh, good, they rolled terrible too. All right, Giendon.
Huh?
Giendon, remind me what you rolled.
I rolled a 10.
All right, Hugo.
I
Still
rolled
playing.
15
All right. Sky.
for now.
I rolled a 1.
What's your dexterity modifier? You should look under initiative. It will say what you have.
It's +2.
So you rolled a 1 plus 2, so 3.
3.
Soup.
I rolled a flat 1, baby.
Okay, and no bonus?
No bonus.
All right. I guess it's only appropriate that Hugo is given the first chance to respond to all of this. One of them
So-
is basically right on you, and the other one in there. And the one on you is just looking at you with its head twitching, going, "Protect, protect, protect."
Is it trying to attack me?
It looks like it's running towards you with its arm outstretched, and you react like as soon as it comes within 5 feet of you.
Well, that's... I can't tell if it's actually trying to protect me or not. I'm assuming
You see that it's
Purple.
sparking this purple lightning that burnt the curtains away.
it's probably not trying to protect me. Eldritch Blast!
All right, it's coming right on you. So as you go ahead and you stop the song for just a moment, you put the trumpet up to your lips and go ahead and roll to hit with disadvantage as it is bearing down on you.
Nice. Disadvantage. Oh, great. Oh, great. 8.
8. The shot goes wide. The sort of orange blast of energy seared with flame ends up striking another corner of the ballroom. Not just, the lightning just kind of burnt and vaporized parts of the curtain away until they fell down. Part of the curtain now catches fire as your shot goes wide, unable to train it onto your malfunctioning bodyguard.
Nice.
Anything else with your turn? You have a bonus and move.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to the other side of the stage.
All right, as you back away from this guy, it's going to take an attack of opportunity at you as it shouts, "Protect!"
Of course.
It's going to make a that attack.
A what attack?
Roll the 22 to hit.
Yeah, what do you think?
As you go away, it tries to tackle you and ends up slamming its arm into the ground, sending you sprawling away as it just kind of tries to grab you like an adult a child. That is going to be 6 points of bludgeoning damage
Yowza!
as you feel your shoulder kind of and crack. But you do back away from it, and it goes ahead and turns its head towards you, kind of like leaning down where it was, but just the head turns, kind of exorcist style, and looks at you and says, "Protect."
Oh boy.
Yenden.
All right, I'm sitting up on the balcony. I'm gonna try and start making my way down to the lower level to get into the front of the crowd and start.
You were so close.
Yeah.
I know.
Make him away downtown.
Yenden.
Oh, come on.
Yenden.
Really?
Yenden. So you're on the balcony right now. You're gonna try to leap down.
I'm not gonna try and leap down. I will take the stairs.
He wants to start
Alright.
walking fast.
Yeah.
All right. So you begin walking fast
Do faces
as
pass?
the faces pass. As many of them seem intent on being homebound. You make your way towards it, and you kind of see, dropping the sort of mixing bottle, is Kira. And she looks at you as you just immediately, like a first responder on the scene, kind of shoulder past people, apologizing, and slip down. With your movement, you're gonna dash? Are you gonna dash?
Yeah, I'll dash.
All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 10. With your movement, you can basically push through, run around the stairs, lap around, and you are about 40 feet from the stage at this point.
Okay.
But you do manage to, with all your movement, which is 30 feet, get down there and begin seeing one of these malfunctioning constructs that had burnt down the curtain and caused a distress immediately after the strange electrical episode with the purple electricity.
Okay.
Begin kind of arcing with this power, and as people begin to flinch as it seems like the lightning's about to surge towards them.
Okay. I'm gonna shout at them. Get out of there!
All right. Some people who are just kind of paralyzed by it all, look at you as you kind of call that out. And some of them who were otherwise just frozen there in surprise and fear begin to move.
All right.
Sky. You have a bonus action?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Sky, you were up in that booth as soon as you saw all this go on. People begin shouting. You start hearing some of the guests saying, "What's going on down there? Are people getting hurt? We're safe down here. Don't worry about it. This is odd. They're ruining the show." Definitely being very self-obsessed in their conversations down below. The one halfling woman who you saw kneecap the other dude just kind of goes, "Interesting. Wonder if I can get one of those." What do you do, Sky?
I'd like to take advantage of the confusion to look around and see if I can see Gilded anywhere.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay, it's 17.
17. You were described that Mr. Gilded is a man, who usually wears a sort of tall top hat, has a kind of earthy skin, but with veins of gold running through it, kind of like that of ore. You look at all the individuals here, there's like a fire ganassi, and maybe you see one more earth ganassi, but they kind of got black onyx skin. None of these individuals seem to resemble them. You look, though, and there is a door kind of to the left of where a lot of the seating is, and there is a... It seems that continues on into the VIP section, but it is closed. You do not know if it's locked.
Let's see. Can I check if it's... Can I try the handle?
I will say, you can move your way over. You still would have your bonus action, but I'd say it's your movement to kind of take that moment to inspect the scene.
I'm like far away. Okay.
Yeah, you were on the other side, so you do have to move like 20 feet to get over there.
Oh, I see. Okay, then I'll
yep.
move over there then.
Yeah. Yeah, and you go ahead, you kind of scoot around, your dress kind of billowing behind you. And yeah, you go ahead and try to try the lock, but it is indeed locked. You cannot see an immediate locking mechanism on this side. Seems to be the extra VIP section. The Platinum Plus.
Okay. Sorry, were you saying that I had to use my bonus action to move, or
You have your bonus
Oh, I
action
have-
if you'd
okay,
like to do
sorry.
something with it, but
I misunderstood what you said? Can I ask you, do I have like any equipment on me right now?
I think any of the equipment you have on your sheet that you would usually have, you have on you, but you're kind of a spy in disguise right now.
Okay, I mean, I was just wondering where else would I be keeping it, but
Yes. So you probably like have below your knee your sort of like thieves' tools if you wanted to have that, but I don't think you can pick a lock as a bonus action.
Oh, I wasn't gonna try. I was gonna hit it with something.
Okay, well, we'll get there next turn if that's okay.
Yeah.
Now it is the Aetherblights' turn. The Aetherblight armor, or the Aetherblight automatons, one of them you see, in Sky, you're in position to see this now, because right before you just kind of saw the flash and the curtains burn away. And as you get a better look, all of you see this, especially Gienden, as you see the thing just begin to go berserk and slam into people. It's going to make 2 slam attacks against the crowd. First one, it goes to duck against one person that Gienden basically yelled at to get out of there. And you see this sort of older man, maybe in like his mid-50s, I should actually say, who you know, kind of like stumbles back in that process, and as he moves, the thing just kind of swipes, and as it goes, it slams with its other attack. That one doesn't hit as well. I literally rolled a 2 and a 3. However, each creature within 10 feet, so Gienden is outside of that, needs to roll a dexterity saving throw, so I'll just roll a general one for the crowd. You see, as the lightning bursts out, you see this black energy strike out, and 4 individuals that were near it just get struck by lightning and fall to the ground, sizzling, unmoving.
Ooh.
As you hear it say, "Protect intruders! Protect Hugo Brassleaf! Property of Hugo Brassleaf!"
No.
Oh no.
The other one looks over at you and says, "Protect!"
Mm.
and is going to run up and try to hug you with its fists. Hugo.
Very strongly.
13 to hit.
That is my AC. Does that mean it hits or misses?
It hits.
Darn it.
6 damage.
What?
6 damage.
Again?
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
Next attack. 10 to hit.
That does not hit. Thank goodness. I would have died.
And then it is going to use its Aetherblight discharge, so I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
What the heck? Why you do this to me?
Protect. Property of Hugo Brassleaf.
8. Bruh.
You only take 2 points of lightning damage, however you suffer 1 level of exhaustion. As you see it strike into you. Are you still up?
Yes, I'm still up, but I don't know how to factor in exhaustion. I've never done that before.
Look under conditions on D&D Beyond.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
And you should be able to set to level 1. As you feel this thing run through you, you just feel the vitality sapped from you, as your own sort of biological circuitry seems to almost be drained by this strange purple lightning. It's actually, you ran in the same direction as Jaren. I'm going to roll for him. He manages to kind of leap to the ground and kind of back out of the way, avoiding a rogue bolt of this strange purple energy. Though they're the armor's turn. Soup.
All right. So how far am I from the stage?
You see, like, as you're looking at it all.
Am I within 60 feet?
Hold on 1 second. So just to set the scene for a second. Actually, let me check the time. Okay, we'll do your turn and we'll call a break there. Okay. Where you are right now, You see the construct basically lash out at the main performer. You see another one basically chanting its name as it seems to be attacking the crowd. You look and you see Gyendon has already broke away from you and has emerged downstairs. And I believe, yeah, it is within 60 feet. Let me just double check the distance. Let me just double check where you are. 1, 2, 3. The furthest one is 55 feet away from you.
Furthest one is 55 feet away from me.
It is a big concert hall. But you have to like lean over the balcony basically to reach it.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with my bonus action. I'm gonna bonus action healing word Hugo, and I'm gonna say, "You can keep running with those legs, little man. You still got it in you. Keep going."
So as you offer these words of encouragement from the crowd, go ahead and roll your healing.
Healing word or vicious mockery?
Healing word in one hand, another vicious mockery in the other. You still got your drink.
Just taking a good old sip of that.
The show's only been going on for about 3 minutes.
All right, that's 7 healing to you.
Ooh, bless.
And then I'm gonna pull a soup, and I'm gonna use one of my wild shapes to do symbiotic entity, and I'm gonna jump off the balcony.
All right, so as you kind of leap off the balcony, just roll me a dexterity check, if you will. It is a 30-foot drop.
Yeah, that's why I activated this as I'm falling.
All right.
All right, that's an 11.
11. I'll say that is enough to land on your feet.
And I get
You take 6 points of damage. So as you kind of jump down, you kind of manage to Mary Poppins some of your spore energy as these sort of thick spores begin to kind of grow over you like a layer of armor.
I get a
You
little cushion.
stick your you like summon like a cushion beneath you, and as you land down, a mushroom rapidly grows up, and you land on it as it just crushes and deflates and decomposes rapidly.
Yep. And I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to start making my way through the to the one in the crowd.
So as you begin making your way through the crowd is very panicked at this point. Traveling through them is considered difficult terrain.
All right.
I'll say after leaping off the balcony, you've got maybe about, I'll say you have 20 feet left. You get about 10 closer.
All right.
All right. And with that, we are going to take a little break and come right back into it.
You've been listening to Electrival, as featured on Dice Carnival. We appreciate your support in listening, and leaving us a good rating. Please consider subscribing and following us on Twitter. Music is used with permission by This Way to the Egress. All links are in the description below. And no matter where you are, keep it up! You're doing great! See you later!